Ever imagine like having a customer who thinks at light speed, you know, analyzes data like it's oxygen and just like never sleeps?
Yeah.
Get ready, because that's where we're headed. The future of business is here, and it's totally powered by AI. We're diving deep into what happens when machines become customers, and especially what this means for those of you juggling that B2B2C world.
Absolutely. And we're not just talking marketing buzzwords here. We're talking like AI agents actually placing orders, negotiating deals, the whole 9 yards. For B2B2C brands, they're already serving businesses and consumers. This adds a whole other dimension, right?
It really does. We've got these excerpts from a review of this book called When Machines Become Customers, and it really zeroes in on what it means for brands like yours.
Yeah.
So enough for the AI theory, right? Let's get practical.
Yeah, let's do it.
One of the biggest, mind-blowing ideas is that we need to actually treat AI like actual customers with, their own unique needs and ways of, making decisions. Have you thought about that?
Totally. And it's a huge shift. Imagine, right, instead of marketing to, say, a millennial mom, you're marketing to this, sophisticated AI purchasing agent, maybe for, I don't know, a construction firm. And this isn't some distant future, by the way. This is happening now.
Yeah, it's already here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So instead of those, glossy brochures, we're talking about feeding data to algorithms.
Mm.
My brain is already doing backflips trying to picture how this works. How do you even begin to market to something that processes information like that?
That's where this idea of algorithmic branding comes in, right? Think about this core data points that really represent your brand.
Okay, yeah.
So, pricing trends, customer service response times, even how sustainable your supply chain is. Oh. And AI can analyze those things, honestly, way more efficiently than any human can.
That's wild. So it's kind of like translating your brand into a language that AI understands.
Yeah.
But B2B marketing already uses a ton of data, so what makes this different?
It's not just about more data. It's about the right data. And it's about how it's presented. It's got to be instantly analyzable. So instead of a human reading a white paper, imagine an AI instantly comparing your product specs against thousands of others in a fraction of a second. That's the power we're talking about here. Okay,
so instead of that beautifully designed, aesthetically pleasing content, we're talking data that's ready to be analyzed by AI. What would that even look like in practice?
Imagine, right, instead of having this beautifully designed product brochure, you've got a database or an API, something an AI can instantly plug into, They get all the information they need, but it's in a format that's optimized for them, for their processing. And that leads to faster and honestly, potentially more objective decisions.
So we're almost skipping the middleman and letting the machines talk to each other, kind of.
In a way, yeah.
But that does bring up a big question for me, honestly. What does this mean for the human marketers? In B2B2C especially.
Sure.
This feels like a whole new skill set.
It is a challenge, but it's also a huge opportunity, right? The companies that figure this out first, how to make their brand appealing to these AI decision makers, they're going to have a serious advantage. And the review actually calls this, it's interesting, creating AI-ready content.
Oh, I like that.
It's a whole new way of thinking about content marketing as we know it.
AI-ready content. Okay, I'm writing that down. So we're talking about understanding these new AI customer personas, speaking their language, basically, with data. Mm-hmm. It's a lot to process.
It is.
Where do we even begin?
I think one of the first steps is, honestly, it sounds simple, but it's a mindset shift.
Okay.
Instead of leading with emotion, or gut feeling, think about how an AI with its data-driven logic would perceive your brand. What data points would actually matter most to them?
So it's almost like we need to start thinking like an AI ourselves to truly connect with them.
Exactly. You need to understand their needs, which are ultimately all about efficiency, data accuracy, and measurable results. This isn't just a new marketing tactic. It's a fundamental shift in how business gets done.
It's kind of mind-blowing, right? To think that we're on the edge of algorithms calling the shots in the business world. But honestly, if we can actually shift our thinking and truly get what matters to an AI customer, it feels like a huge opportunity, especially for B2B2C brands, no?
Absolutely. And the review actually points to B2B2C companies as uniquely positioned to thrive in this new world.
Really?
Yeah. They're already used to adapting to different audiences, right? They juggle complex data all the time, and they're constantly personalizing their approach. It's almost like they've been unknowingly, prepping for this all along.
Wow. I never thought about it like that. Mm-hmm. So how can they use that, like leverage that to really excel in this new landscape? What does the review suggest they do?
So one fascinating idea the review highlights is this concept of predictive offerings.
Okay.
Predictive offerings. Yeah, so imagine using AI to anticipate what your customers, both human and machine, will want, but even before they realize it themselves.
Whoa, hold on. That's like next level personalization. How does that even work in practice? That's like predicting the future.
You're not far off. It's about really harnessing the power of AI, right? To analyze these massive data sets, past purchases, market trends, even things like weather patterns that might influence demand.
Wow.
With the right algorithms, B2B2C brands can get crazy good at anticipating needs and then boom, proactively crafting solutions.
That's incredible. But could this lead to a situation where AI is making all the decisions, leaving us humans, the marketers, totally out of the loop?
Yeah, I get that. It's a common concern, but the reality is way more nuanced,
Okay.
The review emphasizes this isn't about replacing human judgment. It's about making it better, augmenting it. Because AI, it's amazing at processing data, right? And identifying patterns. But it's still us humans who get those nuances of customer needs, brand storytelling, and building actual trust.
So it's more of a partnership then?
Yeah.
Humans and AI riffing off each other, working together to get to a better outcome for everybody.
Exactly. Imagine, right, freeing up your sales team from all those tedious data analysis tasks.
Right.
And then they can actually focus on what humans do best. Building those relationships, providing really personalized consultations, and crafting narratives that really resonate on an emotional level even.
Okay, so we've gone from glossy brochures to data APIs, and now we're talking about AI predicting the future and working hand in hand with humans. I need a minute to process all this.
It's a lot. It's a real paradigm shift. But the main message from the review is this. B2B2C brands, they have a huge opportunity here, not just to survive this shift, but to lead it.
Lead it, okay. By really embracing what AI can do, understanding these new AI customer personas we've been talking about, and of course, adapting their approach to content and communication. B2B2C companies, they have a real shot at shaping the future of how business is done in a fully AI-driven world.
Exactly. And that brings us to one final and honestly maybe the most intriguing implication of this whole shift.
So we've covered a ton of ground in this deep dive, right? I mean, from AI personas to these predictive offerings. And it seems pretty clear that how B2B2C companies operate is about to totally change. But what does this even mean for the core of these businesses, their actual business models themselves?
That's the question, isn't it? And this isn't about just tweaking your marketing or, changing up your sales tactics a little. When we're talking machines as customers, it challenges the whole foundation. How will we even think about value creation, and delivery, especially in B2B2C?
Okay, yeah, that's huge. Give me an example, what needs to change? What's a real, concrete way this impacts a business model?
Okay, so take the traditional sales process, right?
Right, yeah.
We're used to human salespeople. They build the relationships, they negotiate the deals, they close, right?
Right.
But imagine when your customer is an AI, those interactions, they might be completely automated.
So are you saying instead of those long presentations and those super persuasive pitches, it's just algorithms, talking to algorithms, no more need for those smooth talking sales reps?
Not exactly. I mean, human connection, it's always going to be valuable. But picture this. Your AI analyzes everything. Market data, customer needs, even competitor pricing in real time.
Okay.
And then it uses that info to negotiate the best possible deal, maybe even dynamically adjust the pricing based on, I don't know, demand at that exact moment.
So it's having this superpowered procurement team, but they're working 24/7.
Exactly.
But where does that leave the human side of things? It's hard to imagine a business world without any human interaction at all.
Oh, for sure. And that's not what we're talking about. It's not about replacing humans. It's about, I think, redefining their roles. So imagine your sales team. They've got all these AI-powered insights, right?
Right.
They're freed up to focus on building those really deep strategic relationships, providing personalized consultations, offering value that goes way beyond just closing the deal.
Okay, so it's not humans or machines. It's humans and machines working together, jamming, to create a more efficient and honestly maybe even more like enjoyable business experience for everybody.
Exactly. And this whole collaborative approach, it goes beyond sales too, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Think about like customer service. An AI could handle all those routine inquiries, complaints even, frees up the human reps to deal with the really complex issues, the ones that need empathy and, that human touch.
It's amazing to think about what's possible, but like this much change, this fundamental shift in how business works, that can feel kind of daunting. For B2B2C companies especially,
It's a big change, no doubt. But remember, the companies that adapt, right, and they adapt quickly and they do it well, they're going to be the ones who really thrive. And actually, the review, it points out that B2B2C companies, they've got a head start here, surprisingly.
Really?
Because they already know how to handle complex data, right? They deal with all these different types of customers. They're actually pretty well positioned for this AI-driven future.
So instead of freaking out about it, they should see it as like an opportunity.
Exactly.
To innovate, to like totally rethink what they offer, and ultimately really shape how business gets done in their world.
Absolutely. They need to ask those tough questions now.
Yeah. Like
how can we use AI to actually make what we're already doing better? How can we create something that both our human customers and those AI customers are going to want?
Makes sense.
And, I think the most important one, how can we use this tech to build something better, a better future, for everyone?
That's a great point. It's a lot to think about, but this deep dive, it's been so valuable, like a roadmap, for B2C brands trying to figure out this whole machines as customers thing. So to everyone listening, as you're looking ahead at your own B2B2C brand, just remember, this isn't about keeping up with the robots, okay? It's about seeing this whole thing as a chance to rethink what's possible and create a future where everyone wins.
I love that. The future's not set in stone yet, right? It's the companies who use AI but also stay true to, those human values. They're the ones who get to write the story.
I like that. And on that note, I think we'll wrap up this deep dive. Until next time, everyone, keep exploring, keep innovating, and keep diving deep.